Hey guys, this is Gavin Wallace. We're gonna do scary stories. Let's go.
Okay, this is Lloyd Mary. When I was about 9 years old, I went to a friend's for a birthday/slumber party. There were about 10 other girls there. About midnight, we decided to play Mary Worth. Some of us had never heard of this, so one of the girls told a story. Mary Worth lived a long time ago. She was a very beautiful young girl. One day, she had a terrible accident that left her face so disfigured that nobody would look at her. She had not been allowed to see her own reflection after this accident for the fear that she would lose her mind. Before this, she had spent long hours admiring her beauty in her bedroom mirror. One night, after everyone had gone to bed, unable to fight the curiosity any longer, she crept into a room that had a mirror. As soon as she saw her face, she broke down into terrible screams and sobs. It was at this moment that she was so heartbroken and wanted her old reflection back that she walked into the mirror to find it, vomiting to disfigure anyone that came looking for her in the mirror. After hearing the story, which was told very scarily, we decided to turn out all of the lights and try it. We all huddled around the mirror and started peeing. Mary Worth, Mary Worth. I believe in Mary Worth. About the seventh time we said it, one of the girls that was in front of the mirror started screaming and turning to push her way back, away from the mirror. She was screaming so loud that my friend's mom came running into the room. She quickly turned on the lights and found the girl huddled in the corner screaming. She turned her around to see what the problem was, saw these long fingernail scratches running down her right cheek. I'll never forget her face as long as I live. No. You are now cursed. You must send this on or you'll be ill. Stupid. Okay.
We'll be right back.
Yeah. Woo.
Hey guys, we're back. We're gonna say the babysitter and the man upstairs.
My teacher told me this a couple times actually.
Some people would know it, but me, I'm new at it. So, yeah, let's get started.
A married couple were going out for the evening and called in a teenage babysitter to take care of their 3 children. When she arrived, they told her they probably wouldn't be back until late, and that the kids were already asleep, so she need not disturb them. Her homework while disturb them. Her homework while awaiting a call from her boyfriend. After a while the phone rings. She answers it, but hears no one on the other end, just silence. Then whoever it is hangs up. After a few more minutes the phone rings again, and she answers, and this time there's a man on the line who says in a chilling voice, "Have you checked the children?" Click. At first she thinks it might have been the father calling to check up, and he got interrupted. So she decided to ignore it. She goes back to her homework. Then the phone rings again. "Have you checked the children?" says a creepy voice on the other end. "Mr. Murphy?" she asks, but the caller hangs up again. She decided to phone the restaurant while the parents said they'd be dining. But when she asks for Mr. Murphy, she is told that he and his wife had left the restaurant 45 minutes earlier. So she calls the police and reports that a stranger had been calling her and hanging up. "Has he threatened you?" the dispatcher asks. "No," she says. "Well, there's nothing we can really do about it. You could try reporting the prank caller to the phone company." A few minutes go by and she gets another call. "Why haven't you checked the children?" the voice says. "Who is this?" she asks, but he hangs up again. She dials 911 again and says, "I'm scared. I know he's out there. He's watching me." "Have you seen him?" the dispatcher asks. She says no. "Well, there isn't much we can do about it," dispatcher says. The babysitter goes into panic mode and pleads with him to help her. Now, it'll be okay," he says. "Give me your number and street address, and if you keep this guy on the phone for at least a minute, we'll try to trace the call. What was your name again?" "Linda." "Okay, Linda. If he calls back, we'll do our best to trace the call. But just keep calm. Can you do that for me?" "Yes," she says, and hangs up. She decides to turn the lights down so she can see if anyone's outside. and that's when she gets another call. "It's me," the familiar voice says. "Why did you turn the lights down?" "Can you see me?" She asks, panicking. "Yes," he says after a long pause. "Look, you've scared me," she says. "I'm shaking. Are you happy? Is that what you wanted?" "No." Then what do you want?" She asks. Another long pause. "Your blood all over me." She slams the phone down, terrified. Almost immediately it rings again. "Leave me alone," she screams, but it's the dispatcher calling back. His voice is urgent. "Linda, we've traced that call. It's coming from another room inside the house. Get out of there now." She tears to the front door, attempting to unlock it, and dashes outside, only to find the chain at the top still latched. In the time it takes her to unhook it, she sees a door open at the top of the stairs. Light screams from the children's bedroom, revealing the profile of a man standing just inside. She finally gets the door open and bursts outside, only to find a cop standing on the doorstep with his gun drawn. At this point she's safe, of course. But when they capture the intruder and drag him downstairs in handcuffs, she sees he is covered in blood. Come to find out, all three children have all been murdered.
Oh,
That's the end of the story.
oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could say one more story.
Mm-hmm. Easy, 20 if you want.
Well, is the time...
We can do many parts, you know.
Okay.
Many parts of this, people.
We'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. We're seeing the Russian sleep experiment. Some people have seen it, some people have not. So let's get started.
I haven't. This is new to me. Whoa. But toward the end of the 1940s, Russian researchers conducted a study in which 5 inmates were sealed in an all airtight chamber enclosed with an experimental simulate gas to test effects of prolonged sleep deprivation. Their behavior was observed via two-way mirrors and their conversations monitored electrically. They were promised a freedom if they could go without sleep for 30 days. The first few days of the experiment passed uneventfully. By the 5th day, however, the subjects began showing signs of stress and complaining about their circumstances. They stopped conversing with their fellow inmates, choosing instead to whisper compromising information about one another into the microphones, apparently in an effort to win the trust of the researchers. Paranoia set in. On the 9th day the screaming began. First one subject, then another, was observed running around the chamber, screaming at the top of his lungs for hours on end. Just as disconcerting was the reaction of the other subjects, who began ripping apart the books they'd been given to read, smearing the pages with faces and plastering them all over the mirrored windows so the reactions could no longer be observed. After a while the screaming stopped. So did the whispering. 3 days passed without sound from the inside the chamber. Fearing the worst, the researchers addressed the subjects via the intercom. "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones," they said. "Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Complaints will earn one of your immediate freedom." A voice from inside the chamber answered, "We no longer want to be freed." For another 2 days passed without contact with the prisoners as the researchers debated what to do. Finally they decided to terminate the experiment. At night on the 15th day the simulate gas was flushed from the chamber and replaced with fresh air in preparation